Very good afternoon, students. So, today now let us move on to the next topic, that is carcinogenic toxins and as well as cytotoxicity. So, in the last class, we focused regarding this genotoxicity substances as well as how these genotoxic substances are going to act on this particular genetic level, and the mechanism, the role of these toxicants on that particular mechanism also we have discussed. So now let us see what is this carcinogens or carcinogenesis. So this carcinogenesis, which mainly refers to the process wherein which a normal cell is going to be transformed into a malignant cell, as you all know, and it is going to repeatedly keep on dividing to become a cancerous cells. So these chemicals which are going to initiate this carcinogenesis process are those referred as chemical carcinogens, and these chemicals which are going to increase the effectiveness of these carcinogens, which is called as co-carcinogens, right? So they are referred as co-carcinogens, which is going to increase the effectiveness of those carcinogens are referred as co-carcinogens. So let us see the classification of these chemical carcinogens. So as you all know that carcinogens which can be genotoxic and it can also be non-genotoxic. So this genotoxic, under this you can see direct those substances are going to act directly, or those substances which can also act indirectly. Whereas in case of non-genotoxic level, you can see the promoters, cytotoxins, right, and as well as endocrine modifiers, immune suppressors, and as well as peroxisome proliferators. So these are all the substances, or these are all the concepts which comes under non-genotoxic level. So coming for the mechanism of action, how this carcinogen is going to mediate this particular process, the process of carcinogenesis, or the process of formation of transforming this particular normal cells into a cancerous cells. So first of all, this carcinogen is going to result in the formation of reactive intermediate, that is through the phase 1 and phase 2 metabolism reactions, what we have discussed in so far in detoxification mechanisms, which plays a very important role there in detoxifying those toxicants into an inactive product. So if you have studied those concepts, then it is very easy to understand this toxicity, carcinogenicity and all. So with this metabolism, it results in the formation of inactive product, right? So even this reactive intermediate can also result in the formation of adduct, that is DNA adduct. Yesterday's class also we have discussed with respect to this genotoxicity. In that I have explained you the formation of adduct. So further, the repair of this DNA leads to the error-free DNA, right? So this DNA adduct can also result in the formation of mutation or the modification which is going to happen in the gene level, that is in the DNA, that is through the point mutations or frame shift mutations, what we have discussed so far in the last class, and further leads to the cancerous cells, right? That is further leads to the cancer. So this how the mechanism which is going to happen with respect to any kind of carcinogen which causes the cancer, right? So now let us see what are all the stages of carcinogenesis which is going to takes place. So this is a multi-step process, as you all know. So first of all, the chemicals or the toxicants which is going to be affecting or it is going inside the body are exposed to the individual or the organisms of the normal cells, individual normal cells, and further the initiation process is going to happen. Here you can see this particular initiated cells. You can make out the formation, how this initiated cells will be after the exposure of these chemicals, and then further it leads to the promotion, that is cellular proliferation is going to happen. So then it is going to progress further, resulting in the formation of cancer, that is converting that particular cells into the cancerous cells. Normal cells will be getting converted into the cancerous cells. This how the stages which is going to happen in case of carcinogenesis. So why I've explained the stages, so you can see in further slides the particular toxicants, how it is going to affect on the particular normal cells or the individuals, which leads to the further apoptosis and even the resulting in the formation of cancers also. So now let us see this mechanism of action of carcinogens in detail. So you can see that is at the genotoxic level, and even in the non-genotoxic level we can see the mechanism of action of these carcinogens. First we will discuss with respect to genotoxic carcinogens. So what is going to happen in the genotoxic carcinogens? It increases the tumor frequency in case of the animal cancers biopsy, and as well as positive results which can be from in the in vivo studies and the vitro in vivo studies genotoxicity tests also, which gives you this kind of positive results in vitro and in vivo. And either you can see direct acting, that's what I said, the chemicals which are going to act directly or even indirectly on those particular gene level or the DNA, which further leads to the formation of converting into further proliferations and then leads to the formation of cancer cells. So that's how the genotoxic carcinogens is going to act. Coming for the non-genotoxic carcinogens, usually these are acting as a tumor promoters, right? These are going to act as a tumor promoters. So where you can make out the positive thing in case of cancer biopsy in case of animals, but negative thing can be observed in genotoxicity tests, right? So where the mechanism of this carcinogenicity includes, for example, the chronic injury and the regeneration, right? The chronic injury is going to happen and the regeneration, and hormonal mechanisms, whereas increase in the cells, increase in the cell proliferations or decrease in the cell death in the target organ. So where in which you can make out increase in the cell proliferation also or decrease in the cell death also with respect to the target organ, you can see. So this is how the carcinogenicity is going to happen in case of non-genotoxic carcinogens. Coming for the non-genotoxic carcinogens which are going to be relevant to the humans, some